Hey everybody. Um, so I was just reading a Thich Nhat Hanh article earlier yesterday, and in it he mentions that the human race in this century might be coming to an end. And I mean, the article was a little vague because he didn't give a complete transcript of what Thich Nhat Hanh was saying, but he basically said he had been praying to his Buddha nature for a while, and it seemed to him that the end of the human race, or at least as we know it, would be coming soon. But that wasn't the focus of the article, of the lecture. More so, it was a need for acceptance of change, because the only way things can change is if we accept what is presently. People always make the mistake that, if I don't accept what is, then I can change. Somehow that, I don't know why that would work, but anyway, if we accept the present moment, then we can change, because total acceptance, this complete acceptance of what is, I mean, how more clear can you get than that? If you think about it, if you're in the present moment and if you accept all that is, then you're from a still point that you can a see clearer, because you're not over conceptualizing and fighting things. By resting, you're able to observe and see more clearly. So it's a good standpoint there. At any rate, not to overanalyze this, uh, this whole the concept of acceptance is, I think is what we sort of need in this culture now, because the old ways of living. I mean, if you look at the stock market falling, and if you look at like a lot of the old models of economics and government and just ways that we've been running society for so long, they all seem to be falling apart in some ways. A lot of changes are going on, and they're not good or bad necessarily, but they're what we make of them. But I think we're trying to fight that change as a culture. I mean, look at the bailout plan. I mean, I know it's due to, you know, people who don't know what they're doing in government, who don't see the bigger picture, um, and corporations who are only interested in short-sighted alleviation and money and so forth. But it's like our whole society is resisting its death in a way. We're trying to fight it. We're doing these bailout plans. We're trying to continue the status quo. The Dow is slipping slowly, no matter what we've been doing. Um, so a lot of things are changing, and a lot of things are dying. But it doesn't mean it's an end all be all. Things always change, you know? I mean, the Buddhist concept of impermanence, nothing remains the same forever. So that acceptance, I think, is what he was trying to drive home in the wake of massive changes in our society. First and foremost, a collapse. But if we're going to struggle and resist this, it's going to make it harder for us, because the more we fight it, the more it's going to just drag itself out, and more suffering we'll have to endure. So I guess that the point I'm trying to drive is that, acceptance is really important, especially in these times. We sort of have to accept the way, things are always going to be changing and moving. We're always trying to grasp this stuff and try to like know it for sure. And we even have, I'm being victim to this. I mean, we talk about the future, we want to know the future. We want to know what's ahead of us, but we always miss out on, the immediate present moment in which everything's happening. So you think that we'd want to focus on that a little bit more, because maybe we'd understand a little bit more if we stayed more present with ourselves in the world. Um, but we're always looking into the past or into the future. We're always going ahead or behind. We're always acting from the past or acting towards the future, and never in the moment, which is dangerous, I guess. And it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't seem to work anymore, um, because things are falling apart. Society is changing. I don't know what it will become necessarily, but society is changing. And I guess simplicity and total acceptance is something that we might need in these times, in order to really, I guess you could say, in order to really help what's going on and help each other out. or to even survive this. Maybe, acceptance of death, acceptance of the collapse is necessary. So, just to bring in mind some, Buddhist precepts about life, especially in modern times, it's never been more prevalent. Yeah, so if you want to share your thoughts, feelings, concerns, make a video. And thanks for listening.